It's about 3 seconds here. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Capital Gains Tax Solutions podcast, also streamed on Expert CRE Secrets podcast, where we most high net worth individuals and those who help them, they struggle with clarifying their capital gains tax deferrals. Also, sometimes struggle clarifying how to develop an achievable outcome you can plan for and expect, either as a sales consultant, as someone who's helping other high net worth individuals, helping people buy and sell real estate, exit appreciated assets. And so today I'm with Jayson K again. We're in part 6 of the series, which is a NLP. We went through together some training with success coaching, and we are going to dive right into today's topic. And you can go back to learn more about the other 5, which is developing an achievable outcome plan for and expect. Please welcome with me Jayson K from Boulder. Jayson, how are we doing, brother?
Doing great. Yourself?
I'm doing fantastic. And so today, and by the way, last week we covered linking professional value. So if you didn't catch that, go to the YouTube channel, Capital Gains Tax or Expert CRE Secrets, and learn how to link your professional value so you can close more. You can help and bless more with the gifts you've been given, and whatever it is that you're selling, you're helping people with. And today we're talking about collaboration and goal setting, or better way to put it is achievable outcomes. So let's kick this in. Achievable outcomes are NLP, the way they put it, filtered and upgraded goals, not just goals, because guess what? A goal is what, Jayson? What is a goal?
A goal is something you aim at, but the outcome is something you plan to expect. And that last piece is critical, that expectation.
Absolutely. So enough target practice here. We want to really help you plan and take action. And so we're going to compare and contrast these to achievable outcome. There's emotional goals, and there's a part, that first one. Emotional goal might be ambiguously stated. When we say that, what do you think the coaches we got coached meant by this?
Well, that's when you hear that, that's something, it'd be really nice if I'd love to someday. It's kind of nebulous. It's kind of dreamy or up in the clouds. You don't have a firm date or concrete. It's not specifically stated, which is what's critical. That's what you're looking for, is something specifically stated.
I remember friend zone, right? When you're like, if you might be asking a girl out or whatever, or she's trying to ask you out, Jayson, right? And you're kind of like, to get together, or you might say something like, let me check, right? Or let me see, or in some context, it might be, hey, you want to set that next meeting to talk and to go through the thing? Well, let me give that some thought. There's nothing that's really concrete. It's hard to get your arms around, and let's contrast that now.
So, planned outcome in that is specific. So using that example, it's like, oh, we should just get together sometime. In the back of my mind, when I hear that, and we're never going to do anything unless it's in my calendar. I know that. So that's the difference between planned outcomes. So if I don't want to see that person, it's like, yeah, great, let's get, I'll reach out to you and we'll figure something out for the future. If I want to do something, it's, hey, I know you don't have time, but let's just put something down in the calendar. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. And great, let's meet at 9:00 on Saturday morning, and we'll go for that ride.
Absolutely. So it's specific, and so as consultants, as real estate professionals, as anything that you are trying to help someone else with, and outcome, which leads into the emotional goal, which is based in affirmations, versus the planned outcome is based in written and expected outcomes. So what do we glean from that, Jayson?
So if you do affirmations, I have an affirmation, I am a magnet for any easy and lucrative deals. There's no planned outcome there, though. Does it happen? Do I get lots of one and dones? Sure. But a planned outcome is written down and expected. So that's more like, tomorrow, I'm going to be driving down to Colorado Springs to meet with, to do. It's very specific. So that's kind of the difference versus being more ambiguous versus explicit. On the next piece of that, it's, instant gratification. It's like, well, why are you eating that ice cream cone when you're trying to lose weight? Well, it feels good. Okay. But now you have to go spend an extra couple hours in the gym working it off. So the whole point on this next one is balancing that instant gratification versus on the other side, what time is required. So can you give another example of that one, Brent?
Yeah, I would say for sure instant gratification. I think it's especially when we're in sales, like we're making those calls or we're setting those meetings or we're getting that listing or we're helping people, exit highly appreciated assets, invest their wealth into certain things. It's like if we get that one deal done or even get that call and move that deal forward, the instant gratification of like, oh, okay, I think I've achieved it for the day versus putting in the time that's required to repeatedly to move your business forward in a way that's not just based upon emotional feeling or instigation of, oh yeah, I did a good job on that last deal, that last call, or whatever, that last video. What is it that we're doing? We got to focus on the written expectations based upon a set of activities, whether that's 2 hours of cold calling, whether that's 2 hours of creating video content. It's focused time that's written out that has an expected outcome. For me, it's building systems. Honestly, Jayson, it's like, how do I spend time with my systems design architect, which is operations management, really specific for, and by the way, the words we use and the titles that we have are very important, right? And how much time are we spending building the systems and automate so that we can go back and serving the client at a high level and giving us their highest and best, which leads into the nope, just do it, right? In other words, you just kind of, cowboying, you're just going to go for it and just see where the day takes you versus action steps are required, often sequential, right? The detailed, for me, it starts miracle morning in the morning for myself to get my mind, my heart, my body, get my energy right, get my focus right, planning out what's the most important thing for today. In other words, one thing emotional, I hope you guys are getting this, and the other thing is practical, measurable. One thing is measurable. One thing may include others. And I think this is really good, Jayson, this last piece. It may include others, right? Dependent upon somebody else. The other one is for self only. We're fully at cause. So what does it mean to be fully at cause or taking extreme ownership?
So, this all sort of wrap up together. So when you look at this, and this is something, and I don't care if you're commercial, residential, almost every newbie agent falls into this trap. I've got a deal, I've got to work the deal. Yes, while you're working the deal, you also do, here's the rest of the stuff you need to do. So all of a sudden you have another deal behind it versus there's nothing in my pipeline. So it's making sure that you have that whole thing and you're not looking just at yourself and you're doing something that's measurable. For me, it was, have I made my phone calls? Here's my list. I have my 20 calls I need to do. Have I done them? No. Well, guess what? This doesn't weigh 800 pounds. So go pick it up and check it off. Well, it's after dinner. So what? That's the point. That's the whole point of everything here is so you're fully immersed and you're doing, because when you do that, that's when the magic happens. Absolutely.
When you're fully at cause and we're taking responsibility for the outcomes of goals that we've set, that are the emotional goals, the vision that we have, we're going to see tangible forward. So let's dive into developing. So number one, we want to elicit the specific outcome. So again, this could be for yourself and or for the person that you're working with. What will you see, hear, and feel when you know that you have achieved it? So this is a great question to ask somebody that you might be working with that doesn't necessarily have a clear vision for what they want their B to be. Their B to be is where they want to end of the time they've spent with you or the service that you provide. A is where they're at. And so what we're asking here is, Jayson, what will you see? What will you hear when you know you have achieved the outcome you're looking to achieve? Talk about the importance of helping people to have that clear vision of the other side of the outcome?
Well, you want to make sure when they answer, because you first of all have to make sure you say, see, hear, and feel. You want to hit all those different senses. You want to pay attention to how they answer coming back, because that's their primary mode of sensing the world. So if they go, oh, I absolutely hear you, it's going to sound like, now you know that they're auditory. So definitely hit on that auditory. You want to hit the other senses, because if you hit all the senses, what happens is it really becomes fully visioned in someone's mind, becomes real. It makes it compelling. The whole goal of this is motivation.
Yeah, and connecting the emotion with the desired outcome, right? And mix and towards that, right? And like you said, making it compelling and motivating as possible, which leads into the next thing. Get real with your present situation. Grips with what's really going on. Where are you really at? What are really the problems that you're struggling with? What's truly the desired outcome? In other words, this is enough motivation. I know for me with capital gains taxations, people call me sometimes when we start talking about tax. And sometimes it could be $1 million of tax liability. Sometimes it's 500,000. Sometimes it's 30%. Sometimes it's 50%. Sometimes it's 25%. And I ask, and more than just the percentages, I just say, what would it mean to you to pay that tax? Like, how painful is that going to be? I I'm willing to do a little bit smaller deals because it means so much for them and the family, and their desired outcome is so clear that they just like, I can imagine paying this tax for, I'd want to really invest it and I want to grow it, at least pay the tax today, right? It's deferral, it's not tax avoidance. But the point is, there's a real tangible, inspired, like, I'm compelled to do planning and to go through this process versus, I could pay the tax, I could not pay the tax. It's kind of there. Tell me what you have to offer. So talk about the importance of working with people that are truly inspired and motivated to have a clear desired outcome, Jayson.
Yeah, the hope of this is you're trying to build a bridge from where they are to where they're going. And the first thing on building a bridge is, where are they? The next thing is, how big's the gap? Are we talking a little gap, or are we talking, a big gap? It really depends. So if it's a big gap, you need a big bridge. If it's a little gap, you might not even need a bridge. You can skip over it. So that's the whole point here. And what you need to do is discover evidence. How will you know that you've achieved your desired your desired outcome? That's basically the other side of the bridge. So you have where you are right now, and then you have where you want to go, and then the bridge connects the two. And
then there's evidence along the way, right? So there's like milestones or marks, right? And you're saying, how will we know the evidence that we are achieving that? Let's plan for that now. Let's see that now, because guess what? During this time, be a lot of emotional roadblocks, things that are going to be like brick walls that want to make you want to give up, make you not want to push through, overcoming false beliefs if it's good to be true. For us, it's too good to be true. My CPA, what do I know? It's legal. I saw this notice out there on the internet. I saw this blog post about this person. All of these things that are the brain that's like survival, something's wrong. Well, let's remember why we started, what our desired outcome is, and let's work through those so we can push through those challenges for yourself, Jayson, representing people helping buy and sell houses, right? There's so many things. There's interest rates, the economy. There's wars in the Middle East. There's the election. There's so many things, right? Well, what's going to help us move past those things to get your truly desired outcome?
Absolutely. You have no control over it. Some of it is, you can say, is that really important? It's an election year. Okay. What's the election going to do for you? How is that going to change? Well, that influences interest rates. All right. So I've got this question for you. If you buy now and interest rates go up, what are you going to do? I'm going to be happy I have my interest rate. Okay. If you buy now and interest rates go down significantly, what are you going to do? Going to go refinance. Okay. So why would that stop you? And that's kind of the conversation that you need to have, because some people don't understand. If I can afford the house now and rates go down, that just makes it even more affordable.
And this is a great question to ask. Do you truly want the results this outcome will create in your life?
It's overcoming the barriers that they throw up that they might not aren't barriers at all.
Absolutely. Yeah. Do they truly want the results this? We got to ask us this every day. Do we truly want the results that of our business, of how we can help people, that and the outcome in our life, right?
And this flows great into the next one, which is, who is responsible for your outcome? This comes back. Are you fully at cause? Meaning, are you taking responsibility for what you can control? So it's like, well, I can't really afford that house anymore. Interest rates have gone up. Okay, well, let's look at this. So you have a fixed amount that you can spend out of your paycheck every month on a home. Can we restructure the loan so you can get the same home, put less down, or put more down to decrease your payment? Oh, hey, why don't we change the type of loan? All right, well, if you really can't, that means we're buying a less expensive home. Okay, yeah, let's do that, because I'm really not comfortable with the other piece. It's not up to me. It's not up to Brent. It's not even up to you as an agent to figure this out and tell your client, this is what you should do. It's guiding them so they can make the choice. So be responsible, because let's face it, I'm not going to have the rental income. I'm not going to have the rental property, and I'm not going to be living in the house. And neither's Brent.
Exactly. It's your decision, right? We can't play the principal for you. We can only be the broker or the guide to help you make great decisions. You have some constant different side of you to support you, but ultimately it's your decision. So are you certain that you're the only person in charge? If you're a business, certain that you are fully at cause? Are you choosing to be intentional about who's responsible for the outcome of your business, of your success? Are you at cause? Which leads into the next part, which is establishing resources. What personal resources do you already have that will aid in you achieve the desired outcome? So it's kind of taking an inventory of, where are my supports? What coaching am I receiving? What masterminds am I in? What client they might give me some referrals. Like what are the things that I actually already have at my disposal with my resources that can help me with my desired result? And from the client's perspective, right, you might have that CPA or that financial advisor or that commercial real estate broker or luxury real estate that could help you and guide you along the road. For us, it's against the deferred sales trust. It's also multifamily investing, different things like that, and some brokerage as well. But all of those things connect. Like look at who's around you. Realize that yes, you're fully at cause and you're responsible. Also, there's people and probably in your life that if you ask the questions to, you could probably help aid in moving forward. So who do you know that has already achieved your desired outcome? You might have friends or family or other business professionals that have achieved the outcome that you're looking to achieve, right? And what resources that person have, what kind of things did they do? Keep it simple and just imagine you already have the outcome now. This does go into the visualization piece of it. And assume that you already have that outcome. What other resources perhaps could you use now to help you achieve your desired outcome? Which leads into the next one, which is using positive language to finalize your desired outcome. Jason, what do you think about that?
So again, if you notice the trend here, it's what do you specifically want? So we're getting to specifics. It's make it concrete. Take it from the nebulous to the real. The other piece here is, if you've noticed, we're always using positive language. There's no negative. It's like, well, I don't want. It's like, no, I want at least 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, 2,000 square feet, 2-car garage. Okay, the whole point is when you start using the positives, your subconscious, which is the filter, which we've talked about in the past, goes, okay, this is what you're looking for. So your subconscious scanning all the extraneous stuff out, because you can focus on only about 128 bits of data and your subconscious is processing 2 million or something like that. I mean, we're talking multiple orders of magnitude. So that's why you walk down the street and all of a sudden something you haven't seen before, because that reticular activator has been activated. And, like if you've just seeded your lawn, you've never heard the word fescue, and then you see it 3 times in the same day. This is the same thing. This is what you're trying to set yourself up to do. So the whole point here is, write your desired outcome as if you've already achieved it in the present tense. So that sounds like it's now, insert the specific date, August 21st, 2023, and I have achieved tax deferment of $1 million selling my rental property because Brent is such an amazing broker guy. That type of thing. That's what you're looking to do. Because when you do that, what you're doing is you're programming your subconscious to make it, so look for ways to make it already happen, because your subconscious believes it's happened. So let's make it happen. It's a neat trick.
It's so powerful, right? It's turning on the part of the brain that perhaps we have been, either suppressing or not using or not activating, because we tend to be on the other side of the brain, which is so focused on the worst case scenario. Well, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. Great. So what do you want is so important. What do you want? Let's focus on what you do want. We understand you don't want that. And we're talking, but understand you don't want this poor outcome, right? And you're here because you do want to sell that business or that asset or move into that next property. So let's focus on what you do want, that positive goal by certain date. You've achieved X, Y, and Z because you were fully at cause, because you spent the time and the energy to bring in the resources that you needed to help you to guide you through the next part of the decision, because you got your credit in order. You chose those properties that really were in the bed and bath that you wanted, the walkability, the lifestyle you wanted to live, by your friends, by your family, all of those things. Write that out, and it's as simply as reviewing that and take next steps, actions, which, by the way, we've only gotten through just half of this, developing an achievable outcome. We're going to be back next week for part 2 because we are out of time. But I want to encourage you to take action right now to write out what is a desired outcome for whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. And it could be personal, it could be financial, it could be business. And imagine it's now 30 days, 60, 90, write out that date, and I have achieved the desired outcome because of what actions are you taking, what resources are you on reading, which coaching receiving, and that's going to help you. What teams are you getting along with, right? Or what rooms are you getting in with? I think that's just so key. This is what we're trying to practice even right now. We took the coaching and we said, Jayson and I said, how do we make this thing actionable? And now how do we actually kind of even grasp it even more and own this thing? This is why we're here, to be accountable to one another and to hopefully share some kind of inspiration with you. Jayson K, if people want to find you, where can they find you?
Via cell phone, text, or call 720-626-8416, or shoot me an email at jason@homes-in-boulder.com.
Amazing. Jayson K, thank you so much. And if people want to get in touch with me, you can go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. That's capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. You can also expmastery.com as well. Jayson and I are both growing our teams, him in Colorado and across the country, us in California and Florida now. If you're looking for a potential new team, we'd love the opportunity to see if it could be a great fit. And or if you're exiting any highly appreciated asset of any kind, for yourself or any of your clients, go to capitalgainstaxsolutions.com. We also appreciate everyone experting these sales skills and these secrets to grow your business. Thank you so much. We will be back. Thank you so much. Talk to you soon. Bye.